Okay, so the last part of the chapter, and I'm looking here at page 72 and 73, have to do with the verb tener. Okay, now the verb tener means to have, and we will be working with that a lot more in the next chapter. But we do introduce it here because there's a couple things you need to look at. First of all, the verb tener is a little bit weird, and so for now, it is probably best to just like memorize its forms. Okay, so yo tengo, all right, I have. Tú tienes, you have. Él or ella tiene, he or she has. Or usted tiene, you have, but in the usted form. Nosotros tenemos, we have. Vosotros tenéis, you all have. And then, of course, ellos or ellas tienen, they have. And then ustedes tienen, you all have, but in the ustedes form. Now, all of this you can find on page 72 at the very top. All right? Now, we use the verb tener, obviously, to indicate possession, because the verb tener means to have. All right? And so I'll do another little quick video on this because, in this chapter we learned family and vocabulary. And one of the questions that I'm going to ask you for both the written exam and on your speaking is how many siblings do you have? Okay? Tengo, whatever. If you have a phone, tengo un teléfono. If you have a book, tengo un libro. All right? And so on. All right? But now we get to the really unusual uses of tener, because there are certain words and there are certain phrases and there are certain expressions in Spanish that use the verb tener, but you don't have anything. Okay? And we have a lot of those in English, all right? And I'm not going to get into those now, but in Spanish, a lot of feelings and emotions that you would normally use the verb to be, all right, we actually use tener, to have, all right? Now, probably the biggest one, and let's see if I can angle this properly, okay, is to express age, all right? In Spanish, you aren't an age the way you are in English. You don't say, I am, okay? We use tener. You would say, tengo, okay? The logic behind it is that you have a certain number of years of life as opposed to being an age. So the question, and once again, I am going to ask you this in both the written and spoken part of the exam. ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? To answer, you would say tengo, whatever your age is, all right? So you should probably learn that number really well. And then años, okay? Now, you really, really need to have the ñ. You should all be able to form the ñ by one of the ways that I showed you on the videos I posted. So, ¿cuántos años tienes? Tengo 50 años. All right. Now, obviously, this is for me. Yes, I'm 50 years old. I'm an old man. All right. So, tengo 50 años. I am 50 years old. Okay. So for this, you would put your own age. Tengo 18 años if you're 18. Tengo 20 años if you're 20. All right? Now, for the rest of this, if you look at the bottom half of page 72, all right, you have expressions that express different emotional states. Okay, let me just quickly grab this, all right, because I can't read it from that far. I am old. And so phrases like tener calor, to be hot, okay, if it's a hot day, which, right now it's summertime, okay? And you want to express that, you feel hot because it's 90 degrees outside, okay? You are conjugating the verb tener, tengo calor, okay? I'm hot, all right? Or if it's you and your best friend, all right, and, it's 90 degrees, tenemos calor, we are hot, okay? And so if you look, there are 11 phrases that express various conditions, okay? Number one, you need to know what those mean, all right? So memorization. And number two, you need to be able to express, okay? I'm hungry, tengo hambre, which, it's 12:30. I am kind of hungry, all right? Tengo hambre, all right? If you're thirsty, okay? Tengo sed, all right? It's hot outside. You've been working out. Tengo sed. I'm thirsty, okay? And things of that nature, all right? Finally, at the very bottom, okay, you have two more expressions, all right? And these two expressions, okay, I kind of wrote them up here as well. One of them is tener ganas de, all right? This one is used to express desire, like if you feel like doing something. And the reason why I wrote this up here is because generally, you have to add another action, all right, in the blank. So you conjugate tener, all right? So just using the yo form, tengo ganas de. And then you would finish the expression with whatever you feel like doing, all right? Since I already told you it's 12:30, tengo ganas de comer. I feel like eating, okay? I want to relax. Tengo ganas de leer. I feel like reading, all right? And finally, all right, the very last, obligation, and it's at the very bottom of page 72. Tener que, all right? This one is the same, all right? Where you would conjugate tener, and then of course you have a blank, all right? And with that blank, you would fill it in with whatever you have to do, all right? So someone invites you to go out and you say no, tengo que trabajar. I have to work, all right? Can't go out, can't hang out with you today. Tengo que trabajar. Or probably the excuse most of you are giving, no, lo siento, I'm sorry. Tengo que estudiar. I have to study, all right? Or at least that's what you should be telling people. Tengo que estudiar, all right? So, once again, that's page 72. The verb tener, all right? You need to know it. Various forms, various conjugations, you need to know them. And there are 11 emotional states or physical states that you need to know. Not only the meaning of, but how to use tener with it. And then finally, tener ganas de, how to express desire, and tener que, how to express obligation. All right? So, any questions? Like I said, feel free to email me or reach out to Chelsea, our tutor.